Good day, everyone. Um, Today I'm going to be speaking on love. My topic is going to be centered around love, and particularly the love of God. That's the God kind of love, which is agape love. So there are four kinds of love. Firstly, agape love, which is unconditional love. Secondly, eros love, which is erotic love. That is the kind of love that is based off of physical attraction, romantic kind of love. Let me just say, romantic kind of love is based on emotions and physical attraction. Then third kind of love is a love known as storge. Storge is the kind of love between siblings and that is amongst family. It's an instinctive kind of love, a love that is based off of instinct. And then lastly, we have filial love, which is a love between a child, a love that a child has for his parents, either his mother or his father. Filial kind of love is a love that is based on it's a natural kind of love. Natural kind of love, that kind of love that you feel like you owe that person, like your life belongs to that person, or your life, or you would not be anything without that person. It's filial kind of love, a love between a child and his mother, or a child and his father. So that is filial kind of love. But I'm going to be focusing mainly on agape love. Sorry, I'm not a good speaker, and I get anxious and shy even in front of camera, while I'm the only one in front of the camera. So I don't know how I'll be able to speak up if I'm even in front of people. But let me just do what I'm here to do. Agape love, that's the God kind of love. As I mentioned earlier, it's an unconditional Jesus Christ. It's an unconditional kind of love. So the first point I want to make is that God's love is deliberate and unconditional. So as we all know, as I explained earlier, agape love is an unconditional love. It's a love that is not based on mutual understanding. That means that it's a love that it is not based on whether it's being reciprocated or not. So it shows it's a kind of love whereby you love the person irrespective of whether the person loves you back, or irrespective of whether the person is giving you back that energy, that same energy that you're giving to them. So it's a deliberate kind of love, a love that is not based on feeling but actions. It's not based on feelings but actions. So when we say an unconditional kind of love, it is a love that is not based on reciprocity. That means it's not based on whether the person reciprocates that love to you. So you are doing it because God says so. You are doing it because it is the right thing to do. So I will give you guys some Bible verses so that you understand it better. Now, God gave us a perfect example of that kind of love. It says in John 3:16 that for God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son. For God so loved the world. Now, sending his son was the action. Sending his son was the action that he made, that he used. It was a practical action that he used to show his love for us, to reveal how much he loves us. So this is a love that is based on actions and not feeling. Because if to say God was going to do things based on feeling, we all know the amount of sin and atrocities that we as a race have committed. So if God was going to do things based on feelings, it is not love that he's going to be showing us, but rather destruction. But because God so loved the world, he so loved the world, the love was based on an action, not just based on pity and all, but based on the fact that it was he felt that it was the right thing to do as a race. Because there's a way that I'll give an example. There's a way that when you go out on the street and you see people that are begging and all, you want to help them. Your mind, your heart is moved to help them. Sometimes you see them, it's not out of hate. You have pity on them because you look at their situation and there's something that you tell yourself that this is not where they are meant to be. If to say they had if they had the privileges that you as a human being had, they will be in a better place. They will not be on the streets begging. They will not be dragging themselves. And sometimes that's where we thank God and we appreciate God for where we find ourselves. That's why it's very good to always appreciate God for where you find yourself. Because when you look outside, you see people struggling. You see, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's just the situation that they found themselves. Might be the family that they were born into. Might be the fault of the parents that led to the children being on the street. A lot of factors that happened, that occurred, that led to that whole incident. So when we look at the God kind of love, we should understand that the God kind of love is not based on emotions but based on actions. Now, our second point is that Jesus Christ demonstrated this love through actions, not words alone. So as I said, he demonstrated this love through actions and not words alone. So Jesus Christ played the role of a perfect example and a perfect template for us to follow. He was not just speaking based on words, but he showed it. He revealed it. He said he went about doing good. That is what the Bible says. He went about doing good. Those people did not owe him anything. They did not owe him anything. In fact, a lot of them turned their backs against him at the later later days in his life, a lot of them turned their backs against him. So it was not because they owed him anything or because they did something for him that he chose to do good to them. Do we all understand? So the God kind of love is not based on what others have done for us, but it is a love that we show because of what God has done for us and what God has charged us to do. So I'll give an example with the Bible verse from Matthew chapter 5, verse 44 to 46. And it says, "But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you." Imagine the Bible, God is giving instructions to us to love our enemies. So if the love was based on feeling, how are you going to love your enemy? Reason now. How will you love your enemy? Because when you look at them, imagine looking at someone that stole something from you or took something of value from you, and they're just living their life as if they did not do anything to you. There's a kind of hatred that builds up in our hearts, and this hatred is based on is originating from our human emotions and our fleshly desire to hate the person. But God is telling us that we should love those who use us, those who spitefully use us and who persecute us. He says we should love those who hate us, and he says that we should love them so that you may be sons of your Father in heaven, for he makes his sun rise on the evil and the good and sends rain on the just and also on the unjust. So God is giving all of us, he's blessing us. He makes the sun rise on both the good and the evil. He did not shut the sun away from those who are evil, and he did not shut the rain away from those who are good or who are evil because of the good. Okay, it's just like Elijah in the Bible. When Elijah told them that there was not going to be rain, and God did not bring down rain for days, for months, I think. What am I saying? I say for months, for years. There was no rain for years. Imagine that kind of situation. Do you know that Elijah that told them, that gave them that news, he himself suffered it. So if there's not going to be rain for the wicked, there will also not be rain for the good. That is what he's saying. He's saying that he blesses each and every one of us equally. He says, "For if you love those who love you, what reward have you? Because do not even the tax collectors do the same." So what gain now do you have if you love those who love you? Because you are not making any effort. There's nothing new that you are doing. What gain is it to you and is it to the kingdom if you are loving those or showing love to those who love you as well? There's nothing. So the God kind of love is a love that is originated from no condition at all. Then Matthew 22 verse 36 says, Jesus Christ was preaching, and then the Pharisees, they wanted to look for trouble. They wanted to bring a test. They wanted to test Jesus Christ, something that they will use to hold his leg, to catch him. And then they said, "Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law?" And Jesus said to them, he said, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind." He says, "This is the first and the great commandment in the Bible." I now added on top of this, he said, "And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself." He says, "On these two commandments hang all the laws and the prophets." Meaning that without love, all other laws are void. Without love, all other laws, there's no way that we will be able to follow other laws. Because if you look at it, if you think about it in a logical way, if you love someone or you show love to someone, there's no way that you steal from that person. If you show love to someone, there's no way that you will intentionally want to hurt that person, or you will intentionally want to do something that will get on the person's bad side, will get you on the person's bad side. So you always want to please that person because you want the person to trust you, and you will also trust that person because you love the person. So whatever the person tells you to do, you will intentionally do it without argument. That is the extent of love. That is what love can do. So all other laws are based on love. All other laws, they are governed and they are covered. They get their covering from love. That is agape love. So that was what the Bible has been trying to teach us all this while, has been trying to tell us, has been trying to let us understand. We should not mix God's kind of love with emotional love. Because the God kind of love is the kind of love that keeps even a family, even marriages, is the kind of love that keeps marriages. And you'll find out that a lot of marriages are breaking because the origin, the foundation of the marriage was based on emotions and feelings and the romantic kind of love and physical attractions, which is a kind of love that does not keep marriage. A fruitful and a prosperous marriage is based on agape kind of love. A fruitful marriage and a productive marriage is based on agape kind of love. So lastly, our final point is that relationships flourish when love is placed at the center. Relationships flourish when love is placed at the center. The Bible admonishes us to love. It says we should love our neighbors as ourselves. The same way the Bible tells men that they should love their wives as their own bodies, because you and your wife you are one. It says he who loves his wife loves himself, because you are one flesh with your wife. So that is what the Bible tells us and lets us understand. So this agape kind of love is the kind of love that the Bible admonishes us to show towards one another. Not erotic love. Filial love can also be termed under agape love, because filial love and filial love, I said, is love between a child and his father or his mother, and storge kind of love is a love that builds up over time. It's a love that builds up over time. That is, it's a kind of bond between siblings. So you find out that you see married couples that behave as if they are siblings. Why? It's because over time, as they practice agape kind of love, it builds up to a kind of love that they can't do without themselves. It builds up to a kind of love that it becomes an instinct. It becomes natural. It's no longer something that is being forced. Now, you cannot achieve that with erotic kind of love, which is eros love, because eros love is based on feelings and physical attraction, and romantic is based on romantic feelings, which does not last, which changes, which is going to bring me to my next video and what I'm going to speak on. Because when I break down erotic kind of love, you guys understand that erotic kind of love is not actually love, it is lust. Erotic kind of love is not love, it is lust. And I'll break it down for you guys so that you understand from my next video, so that you understand. But then we should understand that the God kind of love is agape love. It's a kind of love that we should practice. We should show an example of that love to the world, for them to see and know that we are different. As Christians, we should show it. That is the kind of love we show. It is an unconditional kind of love. That is why the Bible always encourages us to forgive, because forgiveness is not based on how you feel. It is demanded. It says, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. It is demanded. You should not let the sun go down on your anger. That is unforgiveness. So forgiveness is part of love. It's part of an expression of love, because it is also not based on your feelings, but based on what is right. Are you getting me? That is forgiveness. So I'm connecting forgiveness with love, because when you do all these things, when you practice these things, you understand that it's not based on how you feel. So it is an unconditional kind of love. And another example is when the Bible tells us that while we were yet sinners, Christ came to die for us. He chose to die for us while we were yet sinners. Do you know what that means? It means that we did not really deserve it. It is not because we are righteous or anything like that. It was the show of love. That was his expression. That was the ultimate expression of love. The Bible tells us that there is no greater love than this. It says no greater love than this, than for one to lay down his life for his friend. Do you know what that means? No greater love than this, than for one to lay down his life for his friend. That's what the Bible is telling us. So for you to lay down your life for someone, it is not based on emotions. So it is not based on emotions. It is based on actions. For you to lay down, you can imagine the Bible telling you that no greater love than this. Why is it that the Bible is always using an action to express love, than for one to lay down his life? Why is the Bible always using an action to express love, not a feeling? It does not tell you no greater love than this, than for one to feel attracted to you, or no greater love than this, than for one to take you out for dinner, or than for one to I don't just let me not just mess it up. But the Bible is always using actions to express love. So when next you want to express love to someone, you want to show someone that you love the person, it is not based on how you feel. Couples that have lasted years together, when you ask them, they will tell you that it's not based on how they feel. They do things to show their love. It's their actions that express their love. Their actions is what express their love. You find, okay, for instance, I'll give an example with my parents. You see, my dad always has this thing that he does, that whenever you travel, he wants to know whether you have arrived safely, and he wants to check up on you. Not only when you even travel self, sometimes even maybe you guys are not together, maybe you are somewhere else, you're in another state. Like for instance, now I'm in Abuja, my dad is in Plateau State. A lot of times my dad calls me. Most often my dad will be the one that will call me and say, is that how it is? So you can't even call to check up on us. It's not because my dad is missing me or anything, or because my dad has a feeling towards me. No, it is action that shows love. Because it's not that I don't love my parents for me to call them. It's just that if I'm relying on my feelings, if I'm waiting for my feelings to tell me that call them, you are missing them, call them. Nah, I'm not going to pick my phone to call them, because I'm not even the type of person that likes to call. So a lot of times you pick your phone to call someone that you care about, not because you are feeling like to call the person, but because it is the right thing to do. That is how you show that you care about the person, that you care about the welfare of the person. You want to know how that person is faring. It's not because of you are feeling it. It's not because you are feeling you are feeling the person's absence. No, it's not just because you are feeling the person's absence. It is also a way of, it's an action. It's a way of showing. It's kind of like a responsibility. So agape kind of love is like a responsibility that you have, that you owe to that person, without the person owing it back to you. So you're not expecting that because the person did not call you, you won't call that person. No, you owe it to that person. Because the moment you are waiting for yourself to feel like it, then it will not last. So when you ask married couples, how did they last or how have they lasted in their marriages, they will tell you that this thing is based on actions, and forgiveness is very key. Forgiveness is very key. It's based on actions. So you'll find out that people are married and there are certain things that they do that builds that love amongst them. They talk to each other, they relate with each other, they do things to help each other, they build up their home together. So a home that is built on the principles and the foundation of that home is on the principles of Christ, the principles of love, agape kind of love. It will last. It will last through storms. It will last through heavy winds. When challenges arise, that home is going to last. I hope that you all have been blessed by these words of wisdom. Have a great day. Ciao.